How you doing today, guys? I got something that's way different than the norm. It's woodworking related, I guess. Basically, I have this project that I will be using these standoffs in. So basically, the problem I have is this base. It's not, you know, a normal, common imperial or American size. It's metric. So, best way that I figured out how to do it, to be able to drill the holes, to be able to get these in, these are measuring about 980. So, what I did was, I'll show you the two examples. Now, I know you guys crap on Harbor Freight. A lot of people don't like Harbor Freight because they're one-time tools. Guess what? In this case, perfect example of when you would want Harbor Freight. So, this isn't Harbor Freight, but this is just a very old spade bit. Let's see if it'll focus on you. Come on. It's a very old spade bit. You can see it's all rusty and it looks like crap. But here you go. You see this one? It's another one. You see how it's nice and shiny? It's got a nice cut edge on it. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how I took this 1-inch one to cut less than 1 inch. Most people say, why don't you just buy the right size? Well, the reason why is I have all these old rusty ones around, so with my machinist background, it tells me, just grind it to the size I need. You know, why not, right? I ground this one, and I ground it a little too small. So I'm going to take my time grinding the next one when I show you guys how to make a custom size spade bit for whatever application you might need. So, there we go. I'm going to get you down to my grinder. And we're going to get started on this. First thing we want to do is we want to take our spade bit. It says 1 inch, but are they ever right on? I mean, we're drilling wood, right? So, actually this one isn't bad. It's at about, it's almost at 1 inch. It's like, you know, 998, 997. But I mean, you can see, I mean, it's been beat up, it's abused. So first thing we're going to do is we're just going to clean up the side a little bit, straighten it up, and then we're going to measure it again. And then after that, we'll just straighten these cut edges. And what I'll do is I'll show you a video of how I cut before and after, so that way you guys can see the big difference. Alright, so we're going to take our bit. And since I'm going to be using walnut, you can see the first one I cut. We're just going to cut a little hole in here and see what it measures and see how easy it cuts. Alright, first thing you can see, it was burning the crap out of the wood. So we know it's dull. So we're going to have to sharpen it anyway. But let's see just what size this cut at. Going to go ahead and open up our calipers. And let's get an area where it didn't tear out. Because, I mean, this thing was cutting horrible. And yeah, it's cutting oversized by about 10 thousandths. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this rusty, beat up spade bit. I'm going to taper down the sides, and I'm going to resharpen the cut edge on it, and guess what? We're going to come back, we're going to have a beautiful cut, and it's going to be right on the size we need. Alright, so first thing I want to do is I want to turn my grinder on because I'm just going to touch up these sides. If you guys can see, I don't think you'll be able to tell, but spade bits kind of have a little bit of an angle on the side. I don't know if you guys can see that the way I'm holding it. But first thing we're going to do is just touch up that angle a little bit and then check again to see, you know, what it's measuring. So I'm using a low speed grinder that is going to help me not overheat the tool steel, and that's going to help me keep this cool, because what's going to happen is if you overheat this, it's going to swell up, and then when it shrinks down, it's going to be a smaller size. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to take it and I'm going to let this spin up. Guys, don't forget your safety glasses because you are messing with metal here. And I'm just going to touch off on the edge a little bit. Alright, I got that edge nice and shiny. Now I'm going to do this one, verifying which direction that angle is going. I introduce it to the wheel. I feel like I have a good angle. Alright, I got that edge nice and cleaned up. Now, let me take a measurement and see where we are. Alright, right now I only skimmed off probably about 5 thousandths or so. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to introduce it to the side of my grinding wheel. Just so that way I can keep a nice straight edge on it. Now guys, honestly, if I was to do this to, you know, be more precise, I would be using my grinding jig, but I don't think I need that with this for a one-time tool. Alright, so there we are. We're down to about 995. I'm just going to take a little bit off at a time, making sure that I stay straight and taking even amounts off each side. Now, I mean, if you really wanted to freak out your friends, you could change the angle and then run the bit in reverse just to be funny. But that means you got to change the whole angle. Alright, so now we're at about 190. Well, 990, I'm sorry. So we have them both cleaned up. You can see we have a nice shiny edge. So now we need our cut edge right here. We need to make sure we get these angles right. So I'm just going to introduce it to the wheel on each side so that we can keep the angles the same. One's going to be tilted up and one's going to be tilted down a little bit because of the rotation of the bit. So this first one is going to be tilted down. Alright, there you go. You can see we have a nice clean surface. This one's going to be tilted up. This one's a little bit easier. Alright, so there you go. We got a nice sharp edge there. So now, honestly, we could go in and you have another cut edge over here. You could go in and touch that up, but honestly, I'm going to be grinding this shorter anyway because I need it to be shallow, so I'm going to grind it a little bit shorter, but still something to be able to keep a center. So let's go over and drill and see what size we get and see if it cuts any better. Alright, now you seen the other one was burning all the crap and everything else, so let me get that unplugged and out of the way because we want to be as safe as possible. We're going to load that same bit in there, make sure we're spinning the right direction, and now we're going to drill again. Make sure I have wood underneath. Alright, so guys, you can see just with sharpening that, you can see that I'm down a little bit deeper than what I was with the other one. No burning or anything. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go in easy. Clean it up a little bit, get a depth. And now we'll get a measurement on it, see where it's cutting to see if we need to take any more out. And we're cutting about 990. The offsets that I'm going to be putting in there are they're at 980. So I don't know if you guys can see that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to repeat this process and I'm going to grind a hair more off. And once I get it down to size, I'll be back with you guys so you can see the end result. Alright, we're back. As you can see, I got everything cleaned up, looking pretty. Going to get this back in our chuck. And then we're going to drill another hole and see what we got. Want to make sure that I'm going to clear. Alright, there we go. So now we drilled this one. Let's see the size. Size of this one is, I just took a hair off of it, so we're at about 778 or so. So let's see if our standoff fits. And there you go. Look at how tight that standoff fits in there now. And guys, that is a good way to get whatever you need size-wise. Go out, if you have the means and you know how, buy literally a crappy tool and make a better tool out of it. It's that simple. So guys, sorry if I was yelling, I had my headphones in. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's something really simple that really anybody can do. You could do the same thing with a file or a sharpening stone. It takes a little bit longer, but if you're okay with using a grinder, then that's what you do. So guys, gals, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, and, you know, get in your shop. Get your hands on something. Doesn't always have to be wood, guys. Have a nice one, and hope you guys enjoy your holiday season. See you on the next video. Bye, guys.